Last month, a 28-year-old teacher in Denver logged into her banking app and watched $12,000 disappear. Not stolen, not invested, spent in 72 hours. That was her entire emergency fund, 6 years of saving. And she spent it on designer bags, electronics, and clothes she'll never wear. Here's the part that should terrify you. She's not alone. Hello, and welcome to Money Machined, the money rules nobody taught you in school. We break down how credit, investing, taxes, and debt actually work, with real numbers, zero hype. New videos weekly. 37% of Americans are now doing something called doom spending. They're burning through savings, maxing out credit cards, destroying their financial futures, all to feel something other than dread about tomorrow. And before you think this is about the financially irresponsible, the teacher from Denver, master's degree, perfect credit score, never missed a payment in her life. This is what happens when economic anxiety meets brain chemistry. And right now, with everything happening, oil prices, Fed uncertainty, the constant drumbeat of crisis, your brain is being hijacked. Let me show you exactly what's happening inside your head when you doom spend. Because once you understand the mechanism, you can break it. First, the data. Credit Karma surveyed thousands of Americans about their spending habits during economic uncertainty. The results are disturbing. Gen Z, 43% are doom spending. Millennials, 35%. But here's what nobody's talking about. Even Gen X, the supposedly stable generation, 23%, are doing it too. The average doom spending episode, between $800 and $3,000. Money these people don't have, on things they don't need, to escape feelings they can't name. But why? Why are otherwise rational people torching their futures for a temporary dopamine hit? The answer is in your brain. When you're anxious about the future, really anxious, the kind where you lie awake calculating how long your savings would last, your brain floods with cortisol, the stress hormone. Chronic cortisol exposure does something terrifying. It literally shrinks the part of your brain responsible for long-term planning, the prefrontal cortex, your financial command center. Meanwhile, your amygdala, the fear center, goes into overdrive. It starts screaming one message: the world is ending. Might as well feel good now. This is where it gets truly insidious. Every purchase triggers a dopamine release for about 17 minutes. Then you need another hit, and another, and another. The teacher from Denver, she described it perfectly. I knew I was destroying my future. I could see the numbers, but in that moment, buying felt like the only thing keeping me from completely falling apart. And that's the trap. Doom spending creates the exact financial catastrophe you're trying to escape. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy powered by neurotransmitters. But here's what the research also shows, and this is crucial. The pattern is breakable, not through willpower, through understanding and specific interventions. Remember that detail about your prefrontal cortex shrinking. That's reversible. Remember the dopamine cycle. That's hackable. The 3-step recovery plan isn't about restriction. It's about rewiring. Step 1. The 24-hour rule with a twist. When you feel the doom spending urge, you don't just wait. You write down exactly what you're feeling. Not thinking, feeling. I feel powerless. I feel like nothing matters. I feel like the future is already ruined. Write it down. This engages your prefrontal cortex, the exact part that cortisol shut down. Research from UCLA shows that simply labeling emotions reduces amygdala activity by up to 30%. You're literally calming the panic center of your brain with words. Step 2. Micro-dosing control. Instead of going cold turkey on all spending, you create tiny wins. Set aside $50, or whatever you can afford, as chaos money. This is your doom spending allowance. But here's the key. You can only spend it on things under $10. Why? Because it forces your brain to slow down and choose 10 $5 treats or one $50 splurge. This hack works because it satisfies the dopamine craving while rebuilding your decision-making muscle. You're practicing control in tiny, manageable doses. Step 3. Future anchoring. This is the most powerful one. You create a visceral, specific image of your future self. Not vague goals, a detailed scene. The teacher from Denver, she wrote, 35-year-old me, sitting on my paid-off condo balcony morning coffee looking at my investment account showing $200,000. Every time she feels the doom spending urge, she reads that scene. Studies show that people who can vividly imagine their future selves make financial decisions as if they're sending money to a close friend, not a stranger. Here's what happened to her. 6 weeks after her $12,000 meltdown, she'd rebuilt $1,000 in emergency savings. Not through deprivation, through rewiring. The doom-spending urges? Still there, but now she recognizes them for what they are. Her amygdala throwing a tantrum. And she has tools that actually work. Look, I get it. When the world feels like it's falling apart, when every headline screams crisis, when your rent keeps rising and your salary doesn't, spending feels like the only control you have. But you're not buying control. You're buying 17 minutes of dopamine. And the bill always comes due. 37% of Americans are doom spending right now. That means 63% aren't. They're feeling the same anxiety, the same fear, the same uncertainty, but they're responding differently. They're not stronger, they're not smarter, they just understand what's happening in their brains. And now, so do you. Quick reminder, this is educational content, not financial advice. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Always do your own research and consider talking to a financial advisor before making investment decisions. If this hit close to home, you need to see our breakdown of the silent budget killers, the recurring charges 91% of people don't even know they're paying. That teacher from Denver, she found $600 a month she didn't know she was losing.